7. Caesar and the New State. The religious excitement was marked. Cicero, in all his writing, made no mention of what Dickinson called this orgy of hysteria, which reached its pitch when two men were offered up for human sacrifice on the Campus Martius under the presidency of the pontiffs and the high priest of Mars. Caesar's professed policy of clementia was a religious one. Clemency, mercy, forgiveness, and judgment are with modern man purely personal attitudes, but in origin and truest meaning, they are religious concepts and juridical in framework. The profession of clementia was, by Caesar, a religious and legal profession, an expression of royal status. According to Stauffer, he wanted power in order to practice goodness, in order to heal the world by clementia. Julius Caesar believed in a policy of clemency. His clemency was not always consistently applied, but it was in the main his policy and became the programme of the People's Party. Caesar was thus fulfilling a religious and a divine function, and the way had been prepared for a divine ruler. Philosophers of note had already received their apotheosis, Plato from Cicero and Epicurus from Lucretius, and Cicero in two speeches referred to P. Lentulus Spinther, the consul responsible for Cicero's return from exile in 57 BC, as the god of his fortunes. The way was thus prepared, and Julius Caesar was ready to take advantage of it. Statues declared him to be a demigod and god invincible, and he was given his own flamen or priest for his worship. Caesar was thus a deified man to whom divine honours were paid. His face appeared on coins where previously the effigies of gods had been figured. Caesar avowed himself to be the unconquered god, and coins proclaimed him the Pater Patriae, whose divine clementia was itself the object of worship. The claim of divinity was not a problem or stumbling block for Rome. It was a new step, but it had ancient Roman roots. The problem was the move towards kingship, which, because of the deep-rooted antipathy towards kings, excited opposition which divine honours did not. But Roman clementia was mercy and forgiveness without grace. It altered nothing and, for all Caesar's hopes, regenerated neither man nor empire. It was a forgiveness and mercy which, in effect, tolerated and subsidized sin. And Caesar began to take his divine role very seriously. Warned of conspiracies and against being too open-hearted, he responded by dismissing his old bodyguard. Ferrero has described this period vividly. Meanwhile, he made promises of all sorts, possible and impossible, to everyone who came near him, and no longer even attempted to stop the wholesale pillage of public money which his friends were conducting under his very eyes. The dictatorship was degenerating into a senile and purposeless opportunism that recalled the feeblest expedients of the old Republican government. The expectations and emotions of the people were messianic and revolutionary. The age of gold was to return, and all things were to be made new. All this while Italy was distracted as ever with the problem of debt, and the middle class was still feeling the pinch of the prevailing crisis, while among the poor population of Italy and Rome there was a strange recrudescence of vague revolutionary propaganda which was becoming daily more alarming to the property-owning classes. The wildest dreams were bandied about in the streets of Rome and over the Italian countryside. Caesar, with his colonies and his Parthian war, would bring back the age of gold. The tyranny of the rich and powerful was drawing to its close, and a newer and better government was at hand. The memories of the great popular revolution became so lively in men's minds that a certain Herophilus, a native of Magna Graecia, a veterinary surgeon by profession, and no doubt more or less weak in the head, passed himself off as the grandson of Marius, and immediately became the hero of the hour. Associations of workmen, colonies of veterans in even municipalities chose him as their patron, and he actually formed a sort of court around him and dared to treat Caesar and the aristocracy on terms of equality. Afraid to embroil himself with the people, Caesar did not dare to remove him, and the utmost he would do was to turn him out of the metropolis. In popular fancy, in the fantastic new games and ritual battles, in the new scope given to sexuality, in economic and political expectations, the religion of chaos and of revolution was running with free course. The assassination of Julius Caesar did not stem the fervour of this religious movement, but rather demonstrated how unrealistic the conspirators were. As Stauffer has observed, the Roman people glorified the dead Caesar in a unique passion liturgy which echoes the ancient Eastern laments for the death of the great gods of blessing, and many of whose motifs show an astonishing connection with the Good Friday liturgy of the Roman Mass. Those whom I save have slain me, they sing in the name of the murdered man. And Antony declared before the temple of Venus, where the son of the goddess lay in state, "Truly, the man cannot be of this world, whose only work was to save where anyone needed to be saved." The now divinized Caesar had given a new direction to Roman history. Augustus Caesar